Morning.
How are you? Nice to see you. How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Can we have a handshake, please?
Everybody, handshake.
That's what we do then.
Thank you very much. All right. Pleasure.
Okay. Well, first of all, can I welcome you, Secretary Kerry, to the External Action Service building and to your team. Ambassador, it's great to see you again, and everyone here. Very important meeting for us today because we have the Energy Council, but especially against the backdrop of all of the work and discussions we've been having on the situation in Ukraine. I want to make it clear that we've done a lot over these years to try and enhance our energy security, and particularly to integrate the European Union's single internal energy market, but more must and will be done. When we had the European Council a couple of weeks ago, they made clear that completing the internal energy market by 2014 and developing the interconnections to put an end to any isolation of member states from the networks by 2015 remains a priority. It also declared its efforts to reduce Europe's high gas energy dependency, and that those efforts should be intensified, especially for the most dependent member states. And it called on the European Commission, and I'm delighted to have with me my colleague Commissioner Oettinger, to conduct an in-depth study of EU energy security and to present in June a comprehensive plan for the reduction of energy dependence. So we meet with our United States colleagues following the successful summit we had last week to focus on energy security, but also with a clear focus on Ukraine, to discuss together joint action now and in the medium and long term, so that we can strengthen the energy security of Europe and of its most vulnerable neighbours, Ukraine and Moldova, amongst others. Working together, we hope that we will become more effective in our implementation. And as we do so, we're always mindful of climate and energy policies. The European Union will submit, as should all major economies, by the first quarter of next year, our contribution towards the conclusion of a global climate agreement at the 21st session of the Conference of the Parties in Paris in 2015. I know in Secretary Kerry we have somebody committed not just to environmental and climate change issues, but also to the work we can do together on energy. And I'm delighted that we were able to schedule this meeting. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you very much. Well, Deputy Secretary Poneman, Dan Poneman, and I are very, very pleased to be here with our teams. And yes, it would help if I punched my microphone. I'll read it again, if you didn't hear me. Deputy Secretary Dan Poneman and I are very, very pleased to be here for the 5th U.S.-EU Energy Council today. And I'm particularly happy to join High Representative Cathy Ashton, who is doing a superb job, in my judgment, wearing a lot of hats and helping to fight fires in many places, as well as lead our efforts on the Iran nuclear talks. Delighted to be here with Commissioner Oettinger and Yanni Maniatis. Thank you very much. We're happy to be here with you also, representing the EU presidency. I think the difficulties of the recent days underscore the imperative of what brings us here today. Energy security, not just for Ukraine, but all across Europe. And it frankly requires a major amount of transatlantic cooperation, transatlantic leadership. And that's why President Obama asked us to come together with our European partners in order to tackle these challenges head on. It really boils down to this. No nation should use energy to stymie a people's aspirations. It should not be used as a weapon. It's in the interests of all of us to be able to have adequate energy supplies, critical to our economies, critical to our security, critical to the prosperity of our people. And we can't allow it to be used as a political weapon or as an instrument for aggression. So we are taking important steps today in order to make it far more difficult for people to deploy that tool. And we're working in lockstep to help Ukraine bring natural gas in from Poland and Hungary and develop a route through Slovakia. Ukraine is committed to do its part. And through their recent commitments to the IMF, they've agreed to act on energy subsidies and to make their energy market more competitive. This is critical, obviously. The United States and the EU have a lot of work to do in order to diversify our energy supplies. We're working on it very hard in the United States. President Obama has implemented a climate action plan. And Europe, no group of nations have done more than the European community to try to move on this front. But all of us have to make certain that we are not dependent on one single source of energy. So our agenda today, or at least part of it, is going to be to look at how do we get more natural gas through what folks call the southern corridor, from Azerbaijan to Turkey and on to Europe. There are also other opportunities, including LNG terminals planned across Europe and pipelines that can get gas to customers. I think it's fair to say that American entrepreneurship is hard at work trying to help change this equation. Our new capacities as a gas producer and the approval of 7 export licenses is going to help supply gas for global markets. And we look forward to doing that starting in 2015. And we will supply more gas than all of Europe consumes today. So whether it's confronting the immediate energy challenges in Ukraine, which is critical, or the absolute imperative of all of us meeting the challenge of climate change, which in the latest IPCC report we see underscored for its importance, we're going to have a partnership. And the partnership between the United States and Europe is absolutely vital in this effort. So we couldn't be more pleased than to have leaders like Representative Ashton and Commissioner Ettinger alongside us today as we begin this work. And we look forward to a really healthy, productive discussion. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.